I think when like I'll reference back to like the our previous pilot, and if I'm comparing like the two tools, because as you mentioned, like neurology, it's complex. There's a lot of the language is complex, the words are complex, and the intonation of the provider is, it can be complex. So you want to make sure that you've got a tool that's is eloquently saying that back, and there's not a ton of grammatical errors or spelling errors or um, hallucinations or like finding things. So like those are like the words you'll start hearing when you're working with AI more. And I think the one of our complaints that we got a lot from our providers initially from the previous pilots were like, this note doesn't sound anything like me. I don't talk like that. This actually sounds like a high school level. Like I would be embarrassed to send this out to my colleague in the community, like if I'm sending it back to a primary care provider. And if that's how the tool is going to work for you, like you're never going to get the provider buy-in on that. So no one's going to want to go from having these like really beautiful, eloquent notes that they're handcrafting to having something that doesn't sound anything like them.
Yeah.
So although with AI and like with Marvix, like there's naturally going to be spelling errors and things like that. Is why I love like the proper names and all of these different things in the settings that Marvix has where you can say like, okay, the AI heard this, it's spelled this way, but it's really not. And as soon as you correct it, it corrects it forever for you, which is really nice. But that's just natural. If you use a transcriptionist or if you use a dragon microphone or anything like that, there's always going to be those learning curves with spelling and things. But I think overall we were really impressed with um, how it just sounded like a clinician out of the box, and like that was out of the box. So I think there's something I've learned about AI is like how customizable it is. Like you guys can do a product loop on the back end if we give feedback or um and I'm not sure it's like that for every tool. I can't really say. I think that's what impressed us about your company, was our ability to customize it to the provider's needs. So if someone's saying like this is really it's too chatty, it's too quotey, it's you have the ability to increase or decrease the sensitivity. Um, and so I think that that's what we've learned a lot with the AI is like the vendors that you want to pick are the ones that hear you and hear your feedback and aren't just like one size fits all and it's this is what you're getting out of the box because I don't think AI is one size fits all. I think that like everyone has their own um, they obviously have their own coding teams and different things, and the way you're pulling the AI is different. And you just want to make sure that it sounds the way that you want it to sound, and that it's saying it and not giving weird recommendations or hallucinating. So I think those are things that we've learned this year.